2nd versus the March 9th or February 24th, but we did. There's nothing else on the Hawk calendar for those days, but maybe there was a school calendar thing. I was just trying to find that. We had reasons that weren't captured in the minutes. So maybe we'll have to reconstruct those.
Yeah, 9th just encroaches on MPA. I mean, MPA is going to be on the 8th of March.
The day before?
Yeah. There's stuff that's happening that week.
What's the 16th?
How come MPA is not on the
It's not on the
calendar?
yet.
It should be a date range. It should have 3 days that it shows.
It's not there.
Interesting.
Yeah, rehearsal on Thursday the 7th and nothing else that weekend.
Band MPA is there, 12th through the 14th.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No, that's the date that they have.
February or March?
March.
March.
Did you guys say? Sorry, did you say February or March?
You said before the
Oh,
9th.
yeah, you said the
I
8th.
was looking at the 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at the whole calendar. Yeah, I was in the general area. I
So
apologize.
the 9th is not good because it's right before MPA?
No, I'm saying that it's just more things are happening that time.
Yeah, okay. So we could do that, it's just like encroaches more on
Yeah.
MPA. but we
It's-
could still do it.
16th, St. Patrick's Day weekend.
For the 23rd, it's right before, that's spring, it's the start of
Yeah.
spring break.
Yeah, 23rd, I don't know if it's great.
Well, but they still have school the next week. No, they
don't. Yeah, I think I have.
On Monday for some.
Yeah.
Can someone check the APS calendar on
Yeah,
that?
I was trying to find it.
Because that seems odd.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just for sure can't do that weekend because I have to go that weekend and we're traveling to Roswell.
I mean, the 9th is fine. Unless I can't think of anything else why we wouldn't.
The 16th is too close to the St. Patrick's run because that'll be that Sunday. So the 9th or the 23rd or the 30th.
TCR doesn't have anything on any of those days.
He hasn't scheduled out past January, so.
Well, we'll take the date before he can.
Yeah.
So I need him for 10.
Do we?
I don't know.
Do we though?
Then again, I don't know, because last year it was kind of a nightmare. We'll see.
Are there other companies we can partner with?
Yes. But just, the thing with Tom was, we didn't pay. He was free. But we made enough last year that I think we'll be okay. To pay if we have to.
It might be worth it.
But, I mean.
Well, and I'm hoping to go up, right?
Yeah.
I want to get that above that 200 mark.
So I think I don't think we should go back into February. I think we should go
No.
forward
I
into
think
March.
is good.
Yeah.
If you think the 9th is too close to MPA, then we should shoot for the 16th. APS
I'm-
calendar doesn't have anything other than, so that's 2 weekends before spring break.
Yeah, I'm fine with the 9th. I was only saying possible.
Shamrock Run if we needed Goober Schmerz.
The Shamrock Run, what?
What?
So there's, TCR usually has a Shamrock Run.
That's why I said, I'm
Yeah.
not close to the 17th. because I think-
17th.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
so we may not, if we need them, we may not get them if it's on the 6th.
Okay, do we want to go the 9th?
I think the 9th is fine.
I'm good with the 9th.
I can't see anything wrong with it. And I do believe that we chose that weekend as a put a date out. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wasn't here.
Yeah, got the conversation started for us to pick.
Hey, I was sick. I mean, on the computer.
Did everybody get the link? I just sent out the meeting link. Text message is working.
Buzzing in my pocket.
Yes.
Okay, real quickly, if I could poll everybody. The conversation started earlier that the machine is now running, but certain people are being left out of it, particularly new people to the program. And I just want to make a list of some things that regularly happen that people don't know a whole lot about. One of them being solo and ensemble. Every kid has to be part of it. That there are rehearsals that keep going after school. I had a parent ask and said, so there's no, they don't have class anymore, 0 hour first period. I said, no, they still do. Yeah, they were like, so my son can get there at 9:30 in the morning. It's like, no. I know. So I'm trying to cover all the bases. Can you think of anything else that has caught you off guard in your years?
Confusing in the beginning, the difference between concert band and wind ensemble, like knowing your kid is in something next, but which one? Like, cause it's all kind of talked to about as,
And some of that's TBD, right? Because they're auditioning for
it
that.
is, but
Yeah.
just to know that there's two different ones and that one will have practice on this day, one will have practice on that day. And
Yeah.
these things apply to just, it's hard to know which one your kid is in. There's a lot of different
Yeah.
bands.
I literally might title this something different because capital C concert band means concert season.
Yes.
And so it's like everybody's in a concert band, but only some people are in concert band.
Band, yeah, so
So, and no, that
that's some of the confusion.
yeah, I wanna take a look at that in the future. Any others? Because I need to clarify this. Any other things have tripped you up in the past? I'm just gonna make a list here.
I mean, in the past, we relied pretty much on the students to tell us.
Yes.
Yeah, when they tell us.
Yeah, well, and that hasn't been happening.
For freshmen, like for percussion, this was something that constantly was, Andrew was like, well, I gotta be here. What, you're in that too? And he kept telling me percussion's and everything, so, it's just, you know,
Percussion
maybe it's
families.
something that made sense for them, but for a parent new to the program, I was like, wait, you have to show up for this too, and that too, this too, and percussion does.
I think at some point, yeah, you actually pulled some percussion from concert band into wind ensemble last year. It's
Yeah, because we needed more people to play. Separate. What did I write that for? Solo ensemble, required sectionals, concert band versus wind ensemble, percussion families, guard families?
maybe just have a reset
Oh,
of
yeah,
what
yeah.
what the groups are now that Martine season's over.
Yes.
What
What's
your
the next group?
what your
Okay.
kid may or may not be in.
Mr. Beatty, have something that shows kind of like the season that we're in? Something that we could just advertise or post on the site? Cause I have
Yeah,
something.
In a permanent place.
Yeah, and on the FAQ, but it's just the three main items that we do, right, which is the fundraisers, but something that shows a little roadmap of, the various ones and what you do with the band.
Okay.
And let's put it, yeah, somewhere permanent so it's not in my email and then it's gone. Right, and I have to go
Yeah.
find it to reread it.
Yeah, I can get a little visual because that'll make sense, right? So that parent, right? An FAQ that is basically what we're compiling right now. There's a beautiful one I think I've sent it around from a band, and they get really long. But what happens after marching? And I can go over that tonight. I think I'll do it as a test run for most parents know here what's going on. But something I can send out.
Those with attention deficit.
Oh, basketball.
I'll put that on the agenda.
Basketball can be as assigned.
Basketball plus state? Question mark. Any other things?
Just in those FAQs because parents sometimes have questions like, well, how do they get into wind ensemble and like, do they compete for it? Do they, like, what's their place in it? How do they get placed?
What is? Got it.
The answer I've heard this week is yes, you still have to take the All-State. You have to learn the All-State music.
God, dude, it's like all his professor was mad. I was like, we still have to do. Yes, you do.
There was a lot of that. And I told him, I was like, why did you think I gave it to every single one of you 6 months ago? And then they look at me like, I've been found out. My life, because they said, I didn't know that I had to do this thing.
Oh, that's why.
I didn't accidentally give it to you and tell you 6 months ago, and 4, and 3, and 2 months ago. So what is, any other things from here until, let's say, spring break? Things that happen for us, the fundraisers we're talking about, how the bands are broken up, basketball season, and then the games that come up with state suddenly. I believe I'm going to be breaking the band into 3 groups. Ease up on it. One being percussion, so that the drumline can play at their own in basketball games. 2 wind groups, and the wind groups are going to have a single drummer each. That way it lightens the loads, and we can actually go to a couple more girls' games. Because last year it wouldn't have been possible. They were burning. They were burning at both ends. If you guys think of any in the next few minutes or whatever, I'm just I need to do a recap on what the year looks like for all parents, make sure everybody's on the same page.
So just, I'll keep you in line on your agenda.
Yeah.
That's what's next for band, which is kind of a group of what we talked about. What's happened in the Durango trip next, West Side Jazz, District Round Band, Turkey Trot.
Yeah.
Then we'll do feedback, and then the committee, Sox Walk and Run, and Luminarias.
Yep. I think we're good.
I'm not gonna bring up jazz dinner unless you want me to.
I think we're fine right now.
We're beginning the planning, we were talking about the catering part, so we'll get some quotes and get some options and we'll present them next meeting so that we can make a decision.
Yeah, let me know how I can help.
Okay.
All right, I think we're on, are we broadcasting?
We're broadcasting.
All right, let's go and get started. It is time. I don't see Charlene, so I will act as the secretary as well.
She said she was gonna be there.
Oh, okay. Oh, is she gonna be
She should be on.
taking, do I have to do meeting minutes, or will she?
She said she'll be on.
Let me see if she'll hear my voice and respond.
Probably. By the way, all of this stuff is they were cleaning the band hall earlier this week. They even mopped. I had them mop the floor. We mopped and vacuumed and polished trophies. Did a lot of stuff. They do. They do, and about the best one is 5 of them were telling one of them how to mop, and so I said, mop it then. And I handed the mop to each one of them and had them mop a part of it, and they really quickly didn't want to say anything anymore. Yeah, couple of them pretty good moppers, I gotta say. They're,
Oh.
they
Charlene
got it.
can't hear the audience, so. I can do it. Yeah. 'Cause mostly it's him talking.
Audio is up. Oop,
If
there
we both
it's gonna
take
click.
notes, then we just have double notes.
I'm good with that.
Let me make a copy and then I'll.
You should have the link to just the original, right?
I do, but I don't want to take notes in the agenda. I want to take it separately.
Oh.
So give me a second.
You can duplicate it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
That has nothing to do with fancy. Maybe of course with the best with.
Okay, there we go. Okay. Thank you all for coming. Let me get a motion to start the meeting.
Start the meeting.
And then
And
second.
Dorothy.
Yep.
All right. The meetings from the last minute were posted, I hope. I didn't actually look at them myself.
Anthony.
Did we get meetings from the last minute posted?
I don't think I've gotten those yet. Let me check. We might be behind by one meeting.
Okay. I don't think we have to approve the meeting minutes like in order. We can approve them next time.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll skip that.
I like this.
Folks, who needs to site member, somebody's dead.
Because if nobody saw the meeting minutes, I don't know how they could vote to approve
I
them.
haven't got any questions about them yet.
Yeah.
So we will defer.
Defer to next meeting. We'll approve both of them next time. I'm getting. Okay.
Just posted, Charlene says.
Oh, they're posted probably to you, but not on the website.
No, they might be on the website.
They were on the website.
Yeah.
Let's circle back.
October 7th.
I was like, I think I had texted you.
She reiterates, they are posted.
Okay.
Good.
Motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting. Okay. Second?
A second.
Okay.
We do things right around here.
We're trying to be better. Don't always succeed.
We're professionals.
And we'll go through the treasurer's report.
All right, cash flow, beginning bank balance at the beginning of the month was $48,996.54. We had $8,219 in deposits. Hold on to your britches here, $20,293 in withdrawals. Ending bank balance of $36,920. 2022. We have no outstanding deposits. We have $81 in outstanding withdrawals, giving our ending bank balance of $36,840. Change in balance of a negative $12,155. Cash box still has $199.25 in it. PayPal has $1,000 still sitting on it. Venmo has nothing. And it gives us a total cash of $38,040. If we look at the budget side of the world here, we are still green on all of our categories, thank Kevin's. On a budget of $109,886, we've spent $48,654. Our remaining budget is $61,232, or 58.38%. One cool thing is that we actually did not spend as much on BOA and Flagstaff as expected.
Good.
So currently, we're about $4,000 under that budget amount. So
Good.
well done to all of those who spent money. That sounds interesting. Thank you for not spending as much as you projected. There we go. I don't want to say could have, that would be bad. If we look into fundraising, currently we fundraise about 19% of the total expected, with a net profit right now. And this net profit is, well, let me just explain a different way. Our gross revenue from fundraising right now is $48,293. Our expenses for fundraising is $13,163. Our net profit of $35,129. Our fundraising goal, our net profit goal for fundraising, holy catfish, where be it? Is the goal is 59,000. The net profit goal is 43,000.
Okay.
So we're doing okay in fundraising. We definitely had a great fan pledge, and we've got some awesome things coming up that's going to knock us out of the park, and we'll all be able to take naps next year. Whatever. If we look at our dues, our marching band dues, we've received 21,000 out of the 32 or 33,000 we expect, which is
That's good.
a good 60%. Our concert, we've received $356 out of the 3,200 expected.
Okay.
Leaving us with about 62% total expected to get from dues. I say all other items haven't changed from last year. Wow, last month.
Yeah.
Any questions, concerns?
BOAs.
As always,
Excellent.
the budget is posted on the band website. You can email treasurer at vvhsband.org for any questions that you have. If you don't have them right now, you may have them later.
All right, we're not making any changes to the budget, but motion to approve the budget. Second. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Opposed? Okay.
I think that was Nasser saying he's opposed.
And what we're all here for, the most important part, director's updates. We have a lot to cover. Thank you, Mr. V.
All right, let's see. Let me do it.
First up is the thank you for all of it. The marching.
Yeah. There's so many thank yous to give out. First, I'd like to give thanks to the Bustos family for all of the feeding the children throughout the entire time. I thought this has been one of the best years, most productive years, and the team of hospitality has really grown to provide an experience that is much more unique than I think we realize. So a huge thank you and from me personally and from everybody for the Bustos family. Thank you.
Helpers, servers, unloaders, stagers, every Friday.
Yep.
So it's a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Thank
Well,
you all.
I think something that, especially talking about the service, is I saw different faces sometimes, which you don't usually see, right? People get stuck into a job and they do that same thing, and I'm seeing more and more people feeling comfortable rotating around, seeing kids in different lights, and it's very, very healthy. Second thing I can think of, and please help me out if I forget any, but all of the equipment, our equipment and what do we call that? We call it our
Pit props and
our pit props, our
It's the propped up pit.
at one point and feel leaning on each other's shoulders,
That's
right?
integrating the trailer this year. Was huge.
Yeah, just
like-
everything with the trailer, everything with getting to places, right? 2 out-of-town trips, overnight trips, just everything. Thank you, Juan and Luciano, for everything that you guys did making that happen. Fantastic.
I'll take you 3 times.
Let's see, what are some of the other big ones? We fed the kids. We got the kids places. Chaperones, Angie. Thank you so much. Doing such a great job getting ahead of the things, dealing well, again, with 2 overnight trips, making sure that we had the right people at the right times, and always our kids were being taken care of. So thank you, Angie and the chaperone team. Uniforms. Bravo. Really, probably I think the best season yet that I've seen with any band. We're cleaning them more often. I don't know how else to say it, but it's not so bad to be around them. I mean, that's it. It really, I mean, from having it was a rough ride back from Las Cruces last year.
It really was.
Right? Like the Febreze was to live, right? That was a necessity, and we're able to do everything so well. Kids are looking great. I'd say that we had fewer problems with any uniforms. Expectations were set better for them, and so that people were able to help them when they were in trouble. The uniform room being so clean, extra shoes needed at whatever time, huge time. So thank you, everybody from the uniform team. Other things. We fed them, we clothed them, we got them there.
All the pictures we have.
Oh my goodness. Monica do we have the Rodriguez's here? But they don't have to be here. I'll let them know. But all of the work that we have done, it's sometimes I think like the social media is like I want to get it out to other people. I look at it to remember what I did that day, because the people who are doing it, I don't know if the kids feel this way. I'm sure the parents do. But when you are in it, you don't know what you're doing. And so being able to see myself, being able to see the kids in different lights, different aspects, them laughing, doing things that I only have 2 eyes, seeing them in different places was incredibly special to me. And I think sharing that with our community is something that we cannot let go unmentioned. So to the Rodriguez family, thank you.
Leslie also brought up social media, top notch.
Yeah. So just all of that stuff, giving us such a great presence, letting people know what we're doing, and cataloging it to be remembered for the future. So really great shots of the kids, great senior photos and stuff that we got to. I love those banners. I believe that you guys just took them home, right, Jackie?
Not yet.
Oh, at some point, right?
Saving them for the senior banquet, and then we're gonna give them.
Ah, gotcha.
Hold
So-
until they graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get Ben Rosnick.
If you're here next year, use it.
Any others? And please, this is me asking you to remind me. So many things go by. Anybody else? And it could be you talking about yourself. Let me talk about you, please. Bring
Anthony for
yourself up.
Webmaster and fundraising committee. Those are the last ones that are
Yeah.
official, but it's everybody.
And
you know?
something that we don't talk about, right? But that we have a functional website that's always just working. It always just happens now. This is the first year where I haven't had to manage the website at all. So thank you to Anthony and all. Absolutely. And thanks to those people looking forward, right? So to our committees that are putting together things like the Illuminarias, like the Fun Run, I'm excited to see what we continue to do. So we're
Daily
about
Shred.
Yeah,
all
Day
you-
of the Tread
all you
stuff,
guys.
people showing up, just in general, and to general for everybody, for people showing up, making it feel easy to do the show that we do with the numbers that we have. So, bravo everybody! Thank you for a wonderful first half of the year.
What's next for band?
Okay, so in band, and I'll take questions. This is the time that I want to go over what the rest of the year looks like, and answer any of those questions or clarify anything that may be new for parents or something that you stumbled on last year. I wrote a bunch of things up here. What happens after marching? Well, we split into 4. We split into 4 different groups. We have our wind ensemble, our concert band, our visual ensemble, our color guard, and we have our percussion ensemble. All 4 of these groups are going to have some things unique to themselves. Some of them will be joined in the same concerts, and I'm going to try to do better about on the calendar. I'm going to put the full title on it. So if it's percussion, I'll put all 4 titles of it's going to be percussion and wind ensemble and concert band. Yeah, and it's just something I'm trying to figure out what to do, because part of it is what APS actually calls the groups. I call them this, and then you look at your kid's class and it's called symphonic band. And you're like, what does that mean? I don't actually title them. That's what the district titles them. So I may retitle some things to make it clearer. I might not call it concert band anymore, because concert band is them sitting in chairs with lowercase, right? Lowercase concert band is them sitting in chairs. Uppercase concert band, C and B, is the group here at Volcano, and that's not worth explaining enough times. Right, there's a concert band class, and if you're part of that group and if they combine. So I'm going to be working better at that. They do have different after-school rehearsal schedules. Something to note right now is the concert band and wind ensemble students, so not guard, not percussion. Next week, I'm going to be starting some after-school, probably once a week with each instrument group. Just been thinking over the weekend. I saw a bunch of bands. I went to San Antonio, thinking about what we need for improvement. Is I think every student is going to come to school for this semester one time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, and I will have that posted up for wind ensemble and concert band. There are some percussion parents. Your student is potentially part of wind ensemble and percussion ensemble, or concert band and percussion ensemble, or just percussion ensemble. They're going to be divvied up a little bit differently, have different responsibilities. I'll try to make that as clear as possible, or on the calendars have that wrapped up. We will have a winter concert that everybody participates in. That is all 4 ensembles, whether or not they are performing. So there are sometimes there are mandatory performances that our winds have to go to for the guard. There are mandatory performances that the guard has to attend that are just the concert band and wind ensemble. Or the percussion ensemble concert, which snuck up on me last year, everybody has to go. All students are required to attend that, including guard, wind ensemble, and concert band. So there's a lot of flipping. Sometimes I feel like I could just say everybody has to show up, but not everybody has to all the time. There are some that are required attendance, and those being our percussion ensemble concert and our solo contest. So those will be coming up in April, but just to let you know, it's a lot of little things that happen this coming semester. We had one big group doing a bunch of big things almost all the time, and now when you add in the 4 that they split into, there's 5 groups when you add the jazz band in. So there's some jazz band things that may be required to go to, maybe not. If you have a question about it, or if anybody does, enter into the Stack app or send me an email to clarify, does my student need to be here? Because the sooner you ask, the quicker I can change the calendar and the quicker I can let other people know. So this is the time of the year of a lot of little things.
When will you know when will your student know which group they're in?
So they are currently, this is actually the list of people that I still have to hear behind. So hopefully by the end of Wednesday, I will have listened to all students individually, and I will have the groups, I will have them into their designated groups. So pretty soon, no later than next Monday.
When will after-school practices start?
For the wind players, it'll be starting next week. I'm gonna have to put out that schedule. For next semester, the wind ensemble rehearses Tuesdays and Thursdays. The concert band rehearses on Thursdays only. This was a problem this past year. That means also the percussionists that are part of those groups. And I did not specify that last year. That was my fault. So the concert band or wind ensemble rehearsals that are after school are required for percussionists until they are released.
So those guys can count on Tuesday, Thursday?
Yeah, they can count on it unless they are released. And I'll tell them that morning. It's like, percussion, you're not needed today. Okay. Other things. So we split into a bunch of groups. We have a bunch of separate concerts. We have our jazz festival in February. We have pre-MPA, that is in the last week of February. MPA happens the third week of March. MPA is all winds and percussion, no guard. That is something that we go to Manzano High School for. The state band contest is only the wind ensemble and those percussionists that are chosen for that. Solo and ensemble, different, new for everybody. Solo and ensemble is going to be required for all students, not to be confused with solo contest. Two separate things. So solo contest is what we host here. It's the kids have a competition against one another. We have our finals where everybody watches them. We have our guest artist. Solo and ensemble is run by the district. There are district judges that they hire. They come in. That's what we also hosted. And this year, every student is going to be required to be in an ensemble. It's a change from last year. Every student will be part of an ensemble that they will go to that event on. So they have a solo, and they have an ensemble, and that happens on 2 different days.
Those are both in the spring.
Those are both in the spring. Both in the spring. But that's a big one that'll come up on you, or your student has to be somewhere and a group is relying on them. There's not enough that I could do to remind them of it, and so making sure if you can continue to ask them, do you know who your ensemble is? Oftentimes they'll have to practice on their own. They might have to meet at your houses, practicing outside of school hours. There's not going to be a ton of time given to the class time. That's going to be like a homework project if you want to consider it. It's like a semester-long project that every student is a part of.
When will they know their ensembles?
Like next week. This is all the stuff happening in class right at the moment. I did see a hand in the midst of all that. Okay. All right. So those are the big things that are happening after marching band.
Next is Durango trip. If you want to talk about that. Oh, no,
Got a couple others here. So, got this one. Solo and ensemble required sectionals, concert versus wind. Percussion families and guard families will contact. Basketball. So we do not have football games anymore. Our football team did not win this past Friday. So that is the end of our marching season. No more obligations on Fridays. But we will start going into our basketball games. Students will be divided into, as of right now, 3 different groups. There'll be the percussion, and then 2 other groups. The percussion I'm going to have go to games on their own just to create some noise and some sound, let them be in the drumline setting that doesn't lend itself well to basketball necessarily, which also lets there be less games that each student has to go to. So instead of covering them with 2 groups, we'll cover them with 3. There will be a percussionist at the other games, but it will be a single drum set drummer on the other games, and that'll be on rotation or by volunteer. So if it's I don't see that this is a percussion game. It's I'm playing drum set tonight. Oh, I understand now. That's why you're the one percussionist going to that group. With 16 of them, I can see how that might get confusing at some point in time. Anything else? Again, this is where I ask everybody, anything that you have tripped over in the past, senior parents, something that didn't go well that you would like clarified to help the other parents? Now's the changing of seasons that I can go over all them for you. Yes?
Are we only going to do the basketball game starting like in January? We're not going to do December?
I haven't looked at the schedule yet. I like to do one preseason game. I have been thinking about not doing them this year. In order for us to just kind of smooth sail through this semester. They don't make the biggest difference they make a difference. But if I were to add games, I'd rather add them to the girls' games as well as later in the season rather than skipping an important game next semester. So
Regular season starts after Thanksgiving,
Regular season?
after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, there's a couple games.
Not preseason.
Well, sorry, district.
Oh, got it.
District, sorry, I should say. I know regular season, but district play.
Understood.
Yeah. Because there were a couple games we couldn't go to just because it was too much in 1 week. Sorry. District play, not preseason.
I know.
Yep. Other questions? Yes?
Are they all home games here,
Uh,
or do they travel for any of them?
Correct. We only do home games for basketball. We do homes, boys and girls. They get dropped off here. Usually those games start at 7. Usually the students have to be here by 6:30. Releases somewhere around 8:45. That's what those games will look like.
I just have a comment. I think it's super helpful that out of marching, that you're gonna have a little bit more clarification, because I know like last year I was like, now what? I always
Yep.
felt like we were running and I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, and I think it could be possible I'm just hearing about it more now. And so if there's ever anything, all right, there's so many moving parts, please let me know. I'll update the calendar, talk to Andrew, update, is it
We
Andrew?
spoke before the meeting too. We're gonna.
You,
I do it all the time.
yeah, you know where I went.
We spoke to before the meeting. We're going to try to have more board plus Mr. V communication that's simultaneous. So we'll try to keep more permanent up reminders on the website, as well as through Charms, as well as through the monthly updates. So you don't have to go find that email that had
Oh,
the
yeah,
dates.
that's me.
So we're going to try to be better about that going forward. I will do my best.
Yeah, and I think we're going to try to team up with the social media as well. If there's a block photo that can show you all the dates per month. So on the first of a month, maybe you can see all those dates for those people who just like to look at it, right? I don't do well with those personally. That's probably why I haven't pushed them as much. I have to see a calendar, but I know different people like different ways.
We'll see
So
if Monica do like a pin post or something.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we'll do like I said, the Bantober,
Yeah.
how she did all the dates, she'll do that same thing just every month.
Cool. Any other things? This is a great time to bring up any concerns.
I know one thing that comes up at the end of the year is like getting a letter. How do students get a letter, or how do they letter back?
That's a really important one. The lettering process is in the band handbook. I encourage you to look at it. I want this year, I do want to change it a little bit. I'm not super happy with what I inherited, not because it was bad, but I don't think it reflects the things that I would like to be reflected as accurately as I could. But it is in the band handbook. It is achieving a band letter is through attending a certain amount of things, being part of certain ensembles in the city that are extracurricular, Albuquerque Youth Symphony, Steel Pan Band. There's a bunch of other things that happen in the city, as well as excellent attendance at our events, right? Have you gone to all of your races? Did you do extra races? Did you do extra fundraising? Did you help out XYZ person in this time over what you were beyond? Did you do extra basketball games? All of those will be to give you cumulative points to earn your letters. So it's a pretty good sheet. It will change slightly, but that is in the band handbook. Other things. That is, I'm glad you brought that up. That always catches people off guard. I'll be editing it over the next 3 or 4 months. And so it'll be slight edits. It's not going to look any different, but the categories and the amount of points will slightly change. The students fill out these forms by themselves, by the way. I don't go student by student and know what they did. They will submit a form saying, I have earned this letter, and I verify it. I think that's that's probably different. Well, I know it's different than most other sports and activities. It is really them saying, I have earned this, rather than me saying, I bestow this upon you, which I think is important for them to reflect upon all the things that they did throughout the year. So lettering process, very important.
So it's on page 23 of the handbook.
Page 23. Yeah, I made the handbook shorter. It's not possible. It used to be 17. It's back up to 20-something pages. Others? Questions, comments, concerns? What
in
happens
chat.
next? Nothing here. I'm going to keep on going through.
Durango trip. What now?
So our Durango trip, if you didn't hear about it, we are good to go. We got our minimum number. Very excited about that to provide another opportunity for the students. What next? Now that we have our minimum number, we can potentially go up to our maximum number. The way that you join the trip is that you just have to be paid up whatever payments are required up until that point. You just have to pay that in. That is your deposit. So if you wanted to be last minute, you basically have to pay out in February. You have to pay the whole trip in full. There will be a cutoff date that I need to look at, and it's specific to the rates that we get for Pagosa Springs, Hot Springs, and the Silverton train ride. There will be a deadline for that at some point, but otherwise hotels, we can go pretty late on changing booking of rooms. The rec center is fine. Dinner reservations right a couple weeks out, maybe a month out for most of the busiest stuff. But we have a good amount of time. I would say probably around the end of January, I'll probably send something out saying, hey, we'll be closing this sometime soon, probably in the middle of February, which is roughly 6 weeks before the trip happens, is probably going to be a solid cutoff date. But even at that, because we're doing it all ourselves, if someone really, really, really wanted to go and they got some last minute birthday money or something, just have people contact me and we'll figure it out.
So the max number is?
The max number of students who can go is 50. The bus seats 54, and that allows for 4 chaperones, one of them being myself. So, yes?
So for the remaining funds that we owe, can that be paid something other than the check that we initially had to pay, or do we still need to be paying that by check?
We have not yet figured out a digital way to do payments for this.
Well, people have figured out weird ways of paying.
What we would like to accept.
But the preferred method still is check or cash into the safe. Part of the reason for that is to try to avoid the fees.
I think we can probably make arrangements on an individual basis if you would really want to pay electronically, but it would probably also cost extra.
I mean, I don't care, I just needed to know
Yeah.
that which I did.
Yeah.
I didn't get our check on.
Yeah, and we should, there was a payment schedule on our original sheet, correct? That has dates. So our next date is December 1st? December 1st. And if I may, I don't think officially, but Tracy is, I'm working with Tracy is kind of the person who's working at the trip details with me. So yeah, I don't want to throw that on you, but Tracy is the person that I consult to. If I ever ask you to go to her, it means that it's something that we've talked about and she can explain better than me. So just know that ahead of time. Don't go to her first, but if I send you to her, that's the reason why.
Yes,
I
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, we got a couple short ones. Westside Jazz Festival is this Thursday. We'll just have 3 groups. It'll be us, West Mesa, I should say in order, 6 o'clock Atrisco Heritage, 6:30 West Mesa, 7 o'clock Volcano Vista Band. Short evening. We have our volunteers for that. Show up and stop by if you can. District Honor Band the weekend after, if your student was a member selected for that. They should have told you, and if not, I will post up the sheet of paper. It used to be on that board. There's about
Here or is it at Trisco? I didn't hear you.
4, sorry.
For the jazz.
Jazz is here. Jazz is here. Both of these events are here this year. Westside Jazz Festival is here in our PIC, as well as District Honor Band is here. To be clear, that is not for everybody. There are selected students, so not everybody is required to be there. There are only certain people who are nominated to be in that. Check with your student if you're unsure, and I can post up that list. It's somewhere on this table. We'll need possibly a little bit of help on that concert date on the Sunday, the November the 18th, I believe. We'll usually get about 300 parents, and we're going to try to have a little concessions to make it a welcoming space. 19th. Yes, Jackie? Probably.
Maybe a few. Yeah.
Probably for setting up stage stuff. Changing, like moving around chairs and some stuff like that. And also helping people move from place to place.
What time will it be on the 19th?
On the 19th, I don't know if they have the concert schedule set yet. Last I remember, middle schoolers will go at it's something like every hour. or every hour and a half, like 11, 12:30, and then 2, to allow parents to come in, another crowd to come in for the next concert. There are 3 separate concerts on that day. I will see the district chair tomorrow. I am the coordinator for the event. I am the host for the event, not the coordinator. So I do apologize if I don't have all the answers for that, but that's coming from our vice president
So
for
you'll
the
let us
district.
know, like, what time or whatever you'll need help
Yep.
in?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
And will we be, doing like the sign-up genius for the concessions as well?
Yeah.
And it's meant to be pretty light. I think we're all going to be doing it during certain times, those in between times. So
Yeah, it's pretty light. I would say if you're interested in helping out, maybe we'll send one out if we need extra help.
yeah, I'll ask.
Yeah.
It is, I think you had offered originally, so we were going off of that. So we weren't planning on putting a sign up on, but we can talk after.
Yes, sir.
Since we're gonna have guests here at our school for that jazz fest, I think it'd be a wise idea to talk to admin, make sure the bathrooms are good to go. The last few times it's been horrible, just trying to even use the bathroom at any side here. And these are usually closed over here by the back,
Okay.
and the men's is, the women's is mostly open all the time, but it's the men's side.
Angela, do you mind helping me with that one? Okay, that we can send something to Alzaga just to make sure.
Yeah,
As-
'cause I had them blocked off when we did concessions stuff.
Well, and especially because this one almost is always closed, and a lot of people go here and they don't know about it. Okay, thank you. That'll be big for, especially when the high schoolers are here. We're going to have about 120 high schoolers here from around the city, split into 2 different groups. Yeah, we generally don't need any help from parents, but just so that you know what's going on, if you see something posted about it. Any others?
Turkey trot.
Turkey Trot, we've had a couple races canceled for TCR. The next one is on Thanksgiving Day, and that one almost, without a doubt, usually goes off the past couple years it's happened. That is race team number 1. Race team number 1, who is taking care of that one. And I believe,
That's it.
That's
for director's
everything.
update.
yep, that should be everything.
Next thing we wanted to do is kind of get feedback. So chat, if you can feel free to chat it, or if anybody here is in person, about what we liked or didn't like about this last marching season, in terms of how we performed as a board. You complain at me how I performed as president. What we could do better, what we liked, what we didn't like. We want to take a few minutes, maybe let's go 10 minutes max on that, just
Yeah.
so we can get it done in time. If there's anything anybody wants to get off their chest.
Yeah, and if I could light the fires, so things that went well, things that we're gonna do again, right? And or it's something that is going to be recurring, say Zia, and something that you liked about it or didn't like about it. So if you could be event specific, that's very, very helpful. Las Cruces, I really enjoyed this. Zia, I didn't get this. Flagstaff, I didn't understand why we went to Flagstaff and not this place, right? Because we do have options. So if that can spur or inspire you to come out with the comments. So feedback, just general feedback about it.
We have first question is about, what about, we would prefer to do Bands Across the Rio next year,
Okay.
but
Participate in Bands Across the Rio. Gotcha. As another local contest, I can speak to that. The reasoning being we didn't know if that contest was going to be what it became. At the very beginning, it was going to be ourselves, Cleveland and Rio Rancho High School, and we're going to put on our own clinic. Wasn't really what I wanted to do this year, and it conflicted with one of our out-of-town trips. Right now, tentatively, I plan to have light and heavy years for travel. So next year, there was likely only to be one out-of-town trip. That way, we're not hitting the same amount of burden every single year cost-wise. So that's something to know about. So yeah, so
From the chat, participate in Bands Across
Yeah.
Rio next year?
that's what we just talked about.
yeah, that was.
Did I miss that?
The whole
Wake
last
up,
2 minutes.
Wake up, Jim.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, in the back.
Yes and no at the same time.
in the future to go to like somewhere like Florida, I don't know, if there's a road trip, we get that experience.
So, likes, specifically out of state.
Yes.
Likes out of state. And I'm going to speak to that in a second, particularly with this past weekend where I went to San Antonio, and just throw an idea out there for a band trip in the future. Yes?
I have a question about that, because I have a nephew who does, he's in marching band as well in Dallas,
Mm-hmm.
and they're huge over there. And I know Clovis went last year to one of their VOAs,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so are you guys, is New Mexico gonna try to get out to more, to do stuff like that in Texas as well?
Yeah, so what if you can think of bands as having weight classes, right? And so we're not a lightweight, we're like a welterweight. And so sometimes there are contests where all we would be doing is fighting with heavyweights. And it doesn't quite compute. I was stuck in Midland a couple days ago. That is one of the contests that actually could be at our punching weight. So that's a potential trip. There is a Dallas and Austin and a Houston regional that might be good for experience, a little heavy in terms of success. This past weekend I went to the Super Regional in San Antonio. So that Super Regional has between 65 and 85 bands that participate in it. It happens over several days. And it was really nice because we had a whole variety of bands. There was a 12-person band, and then there was the band that won that broke the scoring record, from the past 30 years, right? And so you have those two interacting in the same space, and I watched, I got there at 7:30 in the morning, and I watched bands until 10:45 at night. And surprisingly not tired of it. There's so much variety. So I would at some point like for there to be some experiences where they can see just different stuff. It's just different. It's not even necessarily better. It's just different bands doing different things. I would like to at some point expand where we're looking at, but it has to do kind of with where we can find the success that we deserve, I guess I should say. If we were to go to, say, a Dallas or Austin regional, the Austin regional has their top 12 finalists are in the top 25 in the country. So you go to that, you could live in Austin, you go to your Austin regional and get last place and be really good. So I don't go there. Flagstaff is getting closer. The Flagstaff BOA was a very heavy competition. The 15th ranked band in the country won that one. And so we have some stuff like that. Does that answer your question, hopefully?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Just to see for future.
Yep.
Yeah.
I definitely would like to travel with them. Going to the San Antonio trip, not even performing, just going to watch, taking like a band trip. So, we don't have to, it's very different. You're in the Alamo Dome, equipment's a total different animal, and saying, you know what, let's go check it out and let's just take it as a band trip. So, something, I'll put that out there.
Pageant and bands is ramping back up to have one next year, just FYI.
Yeah, what's going to be the difference, if we have a choice between pageant, bands, and, are we just going to discuss that probably over the summer? About
Yeah.
when we'll go to, or if we'll go to both?
Yeah, we'll see what pageant and bands is going to. I mean, if they're local, I don't mind doing 4. I do a minimum of 3 contests a year, but we could potentially do pageant of bands, bands across the Rio, Zia, and another one. We'll typically go to Las Cruces BOA. It's at the right time of the year.
And
I thought the choice of music this year was really good, upbeat,
Yeah.
and something that people could relate to. I think that had a play in their success. The kids, their morale was a lot higher this year, I noticed. Compared to the other bands that we've seen, even at the Zia Fest here at UNM, some music choices were horrible. It was hard to listen to.
Yeah. It's tough. No. There. Yeah, and that's it's actually something I've considered, right? It's the teaching material, but it's also what we can be proud of. There were some exceptional bands, right? So I mean, the top they take 14 into their finals this weekend. There were a couple in there that they were really good, but it wasn't something I could get behind. And then there were a couple you all would be proud about how you are in the stands and how outgoing you are. All of the big band, they have a cheer, and all the parents are saying it in the crowd. It's amazing. They have, the parents would wear something that like lines up with the show. It's like the whole community got behind it. Vandegrift, everybody had these glow sticks, and right before you saw like 200 glow sticks in the audience go up at the kids, and what was it, the Houston group, I'm blanking, the Woodlands, they had these light up W's that they held in the air. You know, they're just cool. And so my point being that I definitely consider that, because I want it to be something that we all feel like we can be a part of. So I appreciate that comment.
I know. Well, can we throw that in the budget?
It's awesome. It's awesome.
I think it's already in the works, but I just want to mention it to everybody so they know we're going to try to get the show next year designed a little sooner, so we're not rushing to do things like banners and show
Yes.
shirts and props and things like that. So
Getting the tarps in way earlier so you have time to design the rest of the props.
Yeah.
Yeah, and having money, yeah.
Yeah,
Both things.
I'm already, last Monday I called up our show designers, and we're already working on next year. So goal is to have something for, that way you can set stuff up, or, you know, get an Amazon order 6 months in advance, so it's 5 cents a piece for whatever light, you know what I mean? We're shooting for something like that in March. Really to have it way farther ahead. Designs and colors, you know, if everybody wants matching t-shirts, I don't know. But we're going to try to push for that sooner. Yes, Carl.
I can't remember who said this at the end of Zia. It might have been you, Juan, about, other schools we noticed had water coolers there, so that we have them whenever the kids come off the field, they have coolers that are right there. Or, you know, bottled water, whatever. I just know, like at Las Cruces, when they came off the field, there were several kids that were
dying.
like melting to go down.
I can speak to that. Next year you will have to have the half gallon, and you will have to have the koozie. So next year it's going to be required equipment. Waited 2 years to make sure that every single kid, when they're going into competition, will have to have their half gallon of water that I know will last them throughout a day, so that I know that they will have what they need to be healthy. So, but make a note of that there. Yes.
So, like, when we go to Las Cruces, for example, I didn't notice, I was trying to think of the parking lot. It would be so nice if we could gather, like, a parent place, put up some tents, come in for some shade. Last year you guys did that? Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's nothing there this year that we did, but it was just coming on and off of coming in and out, just trying to get out of the sun a little bit. It is a long day if people come and try to watch, and just have a nice gathering place, and, you know, just something for the parents to hang up, and hang out. It's actually kind of nice to meet some of the other parents too, and that's a very early competition, so it'd be really nice to be able to mingle and socialize and meet some parents at that point, because the first time I feel like we ever really see each other and hang out is Zia.
Right.
So-
That's what I was going to say is I was going to put parent gathering place
Like doing
at
it publicly in
contests.
Las Cruces, I just don't know how possible that is, and I don't wanna make it a big to-do where it's so much work on everybody, but maybe if everybody just kind of like bring a tent, bring something, bring some munchies, bring some drinks, coolers, and just have somewhere, and chairs, and just have somewhere to sit and hang out, especially between prelims and finals.
I agree, and we've just gotten used to that at Zia, about how many people feel like, yeah, I would benefit from meeting more parents earlier on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I
Most
think,
people.
especially BOA, like it felt like getting there was a lot more relaxed because we did better this time. But while we were there, it was more hectic because we had that later slot, and then just getting off the,
Okay.
it felt like even like,
The whole hospitality area is set.
And I thought we didn't even use it.
Yeah.
You guys did, so
No,
I
I
don't
didn't
know
call
that
the
person
trash
bad
out
for
for
you
you
to
guys.
use.
Yeah.
We had it all set up, but it never, the lake was.
And I think as a parent, sometimes you don't know, like, is the hospitality strictly for the kids, and we shouldn't go over there? So sometimes I feel like as a parent, especially a newer parent, like, I don't know, like, can we go over there and mingle with the kids? I don't know, or are we supposed to stay away and it's just band and student time? So if you could just communicate with us, like, hey, come on over, all the parents can mingle, you can say hello to your kids, congratulate them on prelims, and going into finals, whatever. I just, sometimes I feel like that gets lost.
I think it's the communication piece in that, because I think like for most of us, we just do it anyway. And we just assume that everybody else is gonna do it, you know?
Yeah, so sorry about
I
that, yeah.
think
Yeah.
it's more of, just getting that communication on there.
Yeah, getting
Um,
used to it.
I think it being a requirement for parents to get on the Stack app, because that's usually where we're putting stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know, get on the first bus and go to that parking lot, like all that useful information we put out in the Stack app, but we only have like 36 participants, so it's not reaching the full community. But yes, I agree.
I'm gonna cut it off.
What'll be helpful
this.
in the BOA
Mhm.
is like, if we can have a schematic map. Because, I mean, like you and I know, cause we're like, you know, where we were last year, we're like, okay, but then you weren't here last, I mean, you know,
Right, so
like you say, someone
where
that's
is
new,
that?
you're like,
Okay.
So-
that would be helpful for new parents and, at BOA.
Okay.
I'm gonna invite you all, anybody else who didn't get their questions answered or their point, to make sure to contact me. But just to keep the meeting going on time, I appreciate all the feedback. We do take those into account. We changed the way we did all of our trips this year based off of experiences from last year. So all this knowledge goes into making it better as we learn and grow. So thank you all. So we need to talk about a couple things for our next two big fundraisers. I'm gonna start with Illuminatias, just to make sure that we're on track for that. And so the biggest thing is we got everything approved by AD. We have the item in the stores ready to go. I think you guys are on track and have been doing a wonderful job. Do we want to open sales right now? Or how do we want to proceed with that?
Yeah, Carla got me very well printed out, so I have stuff to pass out.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm just gonna pass it out real quick.
Yeah. And so if,
Everything's pretty much ready to go, like, we can start doing sales like
Okay.
Yeah.
I will make the store item public tonight. And I will make the store items public tonight and ask Monica to start with our flyer out on social.
yeah, I think we're ready. We did the math today. To hit our goal of 1,000 dozen, I believe it's 14 dozen per kid. Okay, which isn't too much. But I don't know, I don't know how many people are buying them right now. So encouraging students to go or contact people outside of their immediate community, but also feeling very comfortable if you are comfortable with it. This is one of those that you can do a door-to-door, or you can make your own little flyer and you can sell it type of stuff, or you get our flyer and distribute it. Unlike Fan Pledge, right, we want to get the people who have no idea who we are buying these things, right? So please reach,
Neighbors, yeah.
yeah, please reach beyond all the people that you did for Fan Pledge. Ask those people, sure. But this is what we need to find the hot spot of where people are buying Luminatias at. I can guarantee you that if you put anything or if you post it anywhere on Rio Grande, if you can find, I don't know if you are all aware, but there are certain communities that are required to have them. Ridgecrest over by the university, they have to have it. They're part of a tour, right? If you have over by the zoo, some of those neighborhoods, they have to, by the neighborhood association, decorate. And a lot of times they have, they're putting up, 100, 200 Luminarias in their yard. They don't want to make them. I don't know if any of you have made them. I always made 7 dozen as a kid, and it always took an hour and a half. When you're putting up 20 dozen on a yard, you buy them. So encourage students, and if we can just start looking for, if maybe someone can get a Ridgecrest flyer, or someone can get a flyer of a parent or a community association on Rio Grande, posting it up at some of those parks and whatever. Those are the hot spots. That's where I've seen houses take 60 dozen, right? We take 2 trucks and we deliver it, and they put it on their horse pasture that they, you know what I mean, and they spell out stuff. Like we're talking, there's some huge buyers, and they absolutely do not make them themselves, guaranteed.
Question?
When will the flyers be passed out?
The flyer is digital.
I will make the digital flyer. I'll push that out tonight. You guys are welcome to take it and put it wherever you want on your social, like print it, whatever you need to do. Or we may have some stacks of printed
Yeah.
that you can take.
To have some on the stand as we walk out to just take like a bunch.
You can even go start slapping them around the walls of the school. They have a QR code, takes it straight to our store.
Yeah.
So I'll get that out to you all tonight, and maybe I'll send Dante with a couple dozen printed ones that you guys can take. Is there anything else that committee needs from us to support you?
The only thing I need is like, how many candles do we need? 'Cause I got donated already 1,056.
Okay. I mean, we want that 12,000.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So I just say we'll get everything set for 1,000 dozen. So 12,000 bags, 12,000 candles, and then 1,000 of our cardboard. What we bought those already though. I think that purchase has gone through for the box on the bottom.
Okay.
Yep.
Are we only going to sell 1,000 dozen and stop?
I mean, that's our goal. I don't know if we'll hit it. I mean, if we go over it, we go over it.
Okay. We'll just backfill as we need.
Yeah, I guess what I could say is, well, see how hard it is to buy candles in bulk, because the cost that we will save on bulk on paper bags and candles is huge, and having overstock is always good because we're going to do the same thing next year. So if we buy 13,000 and we only make 10,000 this year, we're just going to use them next year. But it's way better than at the last minute having to go to Walgreens and, you're buying candles at $1 a piece. When you buy them in bulk, I guarantee they're like 5 or 10 cents.
Yeah.
So,
Where did you get them donated from?
I always donated, 2 locations donated.
awesome.
I know Farmville and Dollar Tree will donate too.
Okay, I saw Smith sells them too, so I'm gonna go there too.
Can we put it that if you know of any donations for candles specifically, that you'll talk to Jeanette directly?
And if you don't know her email, just, anybody can go through me, and I can funnel to the right place too
Yeah.
as well. So
So
Good.
for advertising, is there a way to reach out to the HOAs for them to push it to their communities? To market us?
I'm sure.
Like cause like I get a newsletter from my HOA once a month, that maybe they could attach the flyer to their newsletter or a little spiel.
if you have a place where you think it can
Well,
go,
like those places you mentioned, if that's like a requirement, I don't.
I will help you get the
Yeah.
flyer, and please take it there.
So if we could do this, if you guys start sharing, this is where we figure it out as we go.
Yeah.
If you find a hot spot, let everybody know. If we want to set up a table outside of a Walmart every Saturday for the next 6 weeks, and we just have 5 band kids man it at a time and we take sales, I don't know. I've done all these different things, so whatever we feel works
And
best
see,
for
that-
us.
That might work, because then the people they can come by and pick them up. Here's your ticket. You give me your ticket and there's your dozens, because we're not gonna have all that out there. We're just gonna.
No. They all happen on one day. They don't pick them up. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They bring, if we're at Walmart selling every Saturday, okay, we're not gonna have that at Walmart. We're gonna have selling these tickets that.
Yes.
A dozen.
Yes,
And
yes,
then
yes, yes, yes.
You come and pick up your dozen or whatever.
I see what
you
you,
know.
yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So this is a grand experiment, just like the first time we did the Jazz Inter Dance, first time we did the Hawks Walk and Run. It's going to be bumpy the first time we try it, and so we're going to try our best and learn and try to do it better. If it works, do it better next year. So we're going to give it our good old college try.
Yeah.
So thank you all, hopefully, for helping us making a new successful fundraiser that we can complement our portfolio of fundraisers with.
So who
The-
do I talk to about when I get that sand delivered?
That's
Coordinate.
Yeah,
Let's
let's-
coordinate and on the dates and stuff. And
Figure out where we're.
And yeah, where do I put it?
here,
yeah. It'll be to the school. It'll be on the marching band field or a secondary place pending rain.
So you'll come down.
It'll be tarped. That's the thing. Last thing on that. We have our folding party. Everybody. I talked about sectionals. Right, next week, every student has to be here after school. I'm going to put a movie on. I will teach them all how to fold the bags. They will be all required to fold a certain amount. Whatever they don't get done, take them home, do it while you're watching TV. So that tutorial will be coming out.
Can you just not send them home after they're done? I'm not trying to be folding back. I'm not sincere.
You and the twins, come on.
Go ahead.
They will. Okay, Hawks Walk and Run, just first informing, we have changed the date of that from March 2nd to March 9th because of some schedule conflicts. And there's been an ask from the committee that we need to have, and this is something, is there a person who would be the best person for the job to help with the car show aspect of that and the food truck aspect of that? People who know, have contacts, I think is what you were looking for. Car show.
Yeah, we already.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's your car show rep. And then does anybody know how to, anybody ever organized food trucks for an event before?
I have a food truck,
Were you not the one asking about this?
no, I wanted like if there were people who knew, like
Food
family
trucks.
members or whatever, food trucks, that they would be like priority. If not, I would reach.
Oh,
out.
yeah, yeah. So the question is, yeah, if you have some friends or family that do food trucks that want to be first in line,
Right.
to contact VP at VVHS Band.
I just want to give our own community a little bit, before I reach out to everybody else.
Random
Okay,
others,
yeah.
okay. Is there anything else you need about that, Amanda?
No.
Okay,
Just the date change was the biggest thing.
we got through the agenda.
There we
Okay,
go.
Okay.
is there anything else you need to bring up?
No, that should
Any
be it.
questions?
Well, thanks, Sue. We still need those thank yous for fan club.
Yes, so I put that on the list to follow up on post-meeting. We need to just, at some point, we just need to do it as a board.
Especially because marching is done. everything's
Yeah.
done.
We could get maybe some of the pictures that got taken and put a big thank you thing together and send it to our sponsors. And then there was a fan pledge script, I think that we did. I just don't think we've executed on yet.
Mm-hmm.
We can
So
get that put
we'll put
somewhere
that on the
so we
agenda
can-
to make sure we don't forget it.
Sounds good.
And I think that's it.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Next meeting is December 4th. It should be basically hurry up and get ready for the Illuminati fundraiser mostly. But that's when will be our next meeting. I just need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Is Dorothy?
Dorothy and Consiga, yeah.
There we go.
Thank you all for coming.
All right, thanks everyone.